Good morning, my dear students. Today, in geography, we are going to continue the same chapter, that is manufacturing industries. Children, in our previous class, we have studied about the importance of manufacturing industries, contribution of industry to the national economy, industrial location, and classification of industries. And today, children, we are going to study about agro-based industries. Children, jute, cotton, silk, woolen textile, sugar and edible oils, etc. And these industries are based on agricultural raw material. Children, the agro-based industries are those which convert the agricultural products into industrial products. Textile, sugar, jute, vegetable oil, paper and plantation industries are some of the agro-based industries. These industries provide employment to large number of workers. The industries provide consumer goods for the people and earn valuable foreign exchange. Children, today in agro-based industries, we are going to study about textile industry, cotton textile, jute textile, sugar industries and the challenges faced by these industries. Now children, textile industries. Now we will see what is the importance of textile industry for the Indian economy. Children, the textile industry occupies unique position in the Indian economy because it contributes significantly to the industrial production, that is 14%, and it gives employment to 35 million people directly and the second largest after agriculture, and earns the foreign exchange of about 24.6%. It contributes 4% towards GDP. Children, it is the only industry in the country which is self-reliant and complete in the value chain, that is, from raw material to the highest value added products. Cotton textile. Children, in ancient India, cotton textile were produced with hand spinning and handloom weaving technique. After the 18th century, power loom came into use. Our traditional industries suffered a setback during the colonial period because they could not compete with the mill-made clothes from England. The first successful textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. The two world wars were fought in Europe. India was a British colony. There was a demand for a cloth in UK. Hence, they gave a boost to the development of the cotton textile industries. In the early years, the cotton textile industries was concentrated in the cotton growing belt of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Why this is so, children? Because of availability of raw material or a raw cotton, market, transport, including accessible port facilities, labor, moist climate, etc., contributed towards its location. This industry has close link with agriculture and provides a living to farmers, cotton ball pluckers and workers engaged in ginning, spinning, weaving, dyeing, designing, etc. The industry, by creating demand, supports many other industries such as chemical and dyes, mill stores, packaging materials and engineering work. Children, while spinning continued to be centralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, weaving is highly decentralized to provide scope for incorporating traditional skills and designs of weaving in cotton, silk, zari, embroidery, etc. India has world-class production in spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabric as it cannot use much of the high-quality yarn produced in the country. Weaving is done by handloom, power loom, and in mills. India exports yarn to Japan. Other importers of cotton goods from India are USA, UK, Russia, France, East European countries, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and African countries. Now, challenges to cotton textile industry. The first one, scarcity of good quality yarn. Children, this industry faces the problem of building up a regular supply of its raw material. Despite the importance of the industry and the long period of its growth, the position of raw material has remained unstable. Then, main cotton growing area went to Pakistan during partition. Then the third one is old machinery. Children, the mill sector has been working with the old machines. According to one estimate, over 80% of the machinery in the cotton textile mill is old and should be scrapped. Then, erratic power supply. Children, the textile industry in our country has suffered badly for want of the adequate, unfailing supply of power. Frequent power cuts and the load shedding have affected the industry badly. The inadequacy of coal supplies has also affected the progress of the industry. Then, the low output from the labor and tough competition from synthetic fibers. The Indian cotton textile industry has been facing increasing competition in the world market. This is largely due to low productivity and high cost and consequently high prices of the Indian cotton textile. Jute textile. Children, in 2010-11, the jute industry was supporting 3.7 lakh workers directly and another 40 lakh small and marginal farmers who are engaged in cultivation of jute and mestre. Many more people are associated indirectly. India is the largest producer of raw jute and jute goods and stands at the second place as an exporter after Bangladesh. There are about 70 jute mills in India. In 2010-11, most of these are located in West Bengal, mainly along the bank of Hooghly River in a narrow belt of 98 kilometers long and 3 kilometers wide. The first jute mill was set up near Kolkata in 1859 at Risra. After partition in 1947, the jute mill remained in India, but 3/4 of the jute producing areas went to Bangladesh. Children, once again listen this very carefully. The first jute mill was set up near Kolkata in 1859. Children, most of the jute mills are located along the Hooghly River in West Bengal because the first reason is proximity of the jute producing areas, then inexpensive water transport, then it is supported by the good network of railways, roadways and waterways to facilitate movement of raw material to the mills, abundant water for processing raw jute. cheap labor from the West Bengal and adjoining states of Bihar, Orissa, Uttar Pradesh. Children, Kolkata as a large urban center provides banking, insurance and port facilities for export of jute goods. Children, once again, listen this very carefully. Why most of the jute mills of India are located along the bank of Hooghly River? Because the industry consumes huge quantity of water which is easily available from Hooghly River. Then cheap labor is available from the adjoining states of Bihar, Bengal and Orissa. Then if required, jute can be easily imported from Bangladesh. Then effective banking, insurance, transportation are available. Now the challenges faced by the jute industry. Children, stiff competition in the international market from synthetic substitutes and from other competitors like Bangladesh, Brazil, Philippines, Egypt and Thailand. However, the internal demand has been on increase due to the government policy of mandatory use of jute packaging. Children, to stimulate demand, the product need to be diversified. In 2005, National Jute Policy was formulated with the objective of increasing productivity, improving quality, ensuring good price to the jute farmers and enhancing the yield per hectare. Children, listen it once again. To stimulate demand, the product need to be diversified. So, in 2005, National Jute Policy was formulated and the main objective were increasing productivity, second, improving quality, third, ensuring good price to the jute farmers and enhancing the yield per hectare. Children, the main markets are USA, Canada, Russia, United Arab Republic, UK and Australia. The growing global concern for environment-friendly biodegradable materials, it has once again opened the opportunity for the jute products. Now, sugar industry. India stands second as the world producer of sugar but occupies the first place in the production of gur and khansari. The raw material used in this industry is bulky and in haulage its sucrose content reduces. Then where should the mill be ideally located, children? In 2010-11, there were about 662 sugar mills in the country spread over Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat along with Punjab, Haryana and Madhya Pradesh. 60% mills are in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. This industry is a seasonal in nature, so it is ideally suited to the cooperative sector. Major challenges. Now children, let's see what are the major challenges to the sugar industry. Children, although India has the large area under sugarcane cultivation, the yield per hectare is extremely low as compared to some of the major sugarcane producing countries of the world. Manufacturing of sugar is a seasonal phenomena with a short crushing season varying normally from 4 to 7 months in a year. The mills and its workers remain idle during the remaining period of the year, thus creating financial problems for the industry as a whole. The high cost of sugarcane, inefficient technology, Uneconomic process of production and heavy excise duty results in the high cost of production. The production cost of the sugar in India is one of the highest in the world. Children, most of the machinery used in Indian sugar mills, particularly those of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, is old. It is about 50 to 60 years old and need total rehabilitation. Children, in recent years, there is a tendency for the mills to shift and concentrate in the southern and the western states, especially in Maharashtra. Why this is so, children? Because per hectare production of sugarcane is higher in southern India. Black soil is quite suitable for the cultivation of sugarcane. Then sucrose content in the sugarcane is higher in Maharashtra and Karnataka. It means more sugar can be produced for the less sugarcane. Mills and machines are new in southern states. New and modern machines increases the productivity. Crushing season for sugarcane is longer in southern states, and cooperative sugar mills are running successfully in southern states. That's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day.